Everyone, welcome to this tutorial. I'm already apologizing for my English because I'm not a native speaking person, but whatever. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna try to make live loops play our backing tracks for the band. And we want to do this kind of like an Ableton Live style. Because first when I found out there's the live looping function, I was super hyped. I was like, oh, amazing. I'm just going to take my song, I drag it in, and I press play, and it's going to work. But honestly, I had to figure out it did not. But now I found a way, I think, that it actually will. So I'm going to show you very quick what I found out. First, we're going to close the live loop version because we don't use it yet. So what I have right here is 2 different songs of my band, 2 old songs we don't play anymore. What I did is I took the folder, I imported the stems inside of Logic, just as you would do normally. Then I went ahead and I aligned the tempo mapping to the songs. And this is going to be very important later, so you really have to do this. So first we listened to the stems, and then we're going to take our BPM
pre-chorus,
and we find out the tempo is 74 for this track. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to line it up, 74 right here. All right. Cool. All right, that matches. This is perfect. So what we do now is we turn on flags. If you didn't have it yet, if you didn't have it turned on, you turn it on now. Boom. So what is this doing? It's gonna save ours. It's gonna save our ass later. If you're in the band rehearsal and actually everyone is gonna be like, oh, we have to play the song faster, and you're gonna be like, ah, damn, how am I gonna do that? Because we don't have this amazing warp function then in Ableton, so we have to do it actually like this, but it works quite well. So now we just increase the tempo. All right, yeah, this is ridiculous, but you know what I mean. So I go back to the old tempo. Let's say we want to play that song exactly at this tempo. This is what we decided in the band rehearsal. And this is going to be our tempo, all right? So what I would do right now is I would go ahead and bounce those files in place. I would bounce all of these in place, right? I make a quick example. So I'm going to bounce this one. Like this, you know? So I would do this with all the stems. So we have the definite tempo in the file. All right, if I done this, it should still sound the same. But what we can do now is start bringing those guys into the live loop section. So what we actually do is we grab the whole thing, we drag it here, and now you're gonna see it's gonna make a funky thing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, this time not, but the problem with the live loop section is if I play this song, you see the timeline, it starts wherever the timeline is here. So it doesn't automatically jump to this line here and starts the song as it is.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It does not, because it can also be here in the timeline with a totally different song. Let's say here's the song with a tempo of 160, and then I just play this song, but it's gonna be much too fast and it's horrible. All right, so it's gonna be disaster on stage. So what we have to do is actually ignore this thing, because when first live loop came, I was so hyped. I thought it's gonna jump from track to track to track, but it does not. So this is why we have to bounce the right tempo we want to play in the track. Then we're going to mark all those guys and we're going to turn flags off. All right. So then it's just going to play the original
1,
tempo,
2, 3, 4.
Which is great. It's actually what we want to have. It's great. All right. So let's say we have the second track. So we go back to this view here. I aligned the second track here. It has a tempo of 88. All right. So same. I would bounce all those guys down to the tempo we decided to play the song in. Then I would drag it in the next position. All right. And as you see, this is automatically always turning on the flex mode, which is horrible because we again gonna have the same problem.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's playing way too quick and wrong. So we don't want that. So again, we're gonna go and turn that off. Also, since we have a line show, like the whole track is just running through, we're gonna turn off loop. We're gonna turn off loop. So basically now what this is doing is basically it's just playing this song along. Now we have two tempos and it's gonna work great.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is our first song and here's our second song.
1, 2,
with a
3,
different tempo,
4.
and it works, and it's great. So we can name this, I don't know, song 1, and we can name this song 2, whatever. And you can go on and do your set list like this, which is amazing, because at the end, when you're done, you don't have to use any of this right side normal layout mode anymore. You can just pop in to this mode. You can make all these things appear. You can actually make it very small in the corner. Maybe you're running a different program. In my case, I'm a keyboarder, so I'm using main stage next to it. So I would do it like this. And I have main stage on this screen right here. And it works great. It works absolutely great. Just always make sure it's the whole scene is triggering from start. Otherwise, you're gonna have some funky stuff going on. Maybe if you're unlucky, sometimes no. And also for the start, I like to turn it to a 16 note because right here we don't have split because you can also, of course, split your song with loops in between where you want to cue the band and stuff. You can do this as well, like this, of course. But since I don't do that, since we just play through the track, I want them just to trigger as fast as possible when I hit this button here. So I want this on a 16th note, so it just starts right away. Good. Make sure if you're mapping any kind of MIDI equipment to Logic to trigger the start and stop, make sure that you don't assign to the big play button here, because you see this is actually running and it's running here. That's what I mean. It's just gonna run forever. So make sure to trigger the start from the live loops setting and not from the main settings, and also make sure to map this stop button right here, because this stop button is stopping the scene. It's not stopping the whole project, but stopping the scene, which is very important because then your scene is going to start again if you re-trigger it from the beginning.
1, 2,
you see?
3, 4.
Because if I stop it just like this,
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's just gonna. If I stop it here with the main tool, it's gonna just continue. It's gonna continue the track. But this is maybe not what you want on a live stage. Maybe you do the count in, and some of your band mates are not ready, and you see that, and you press stop. But then if you press play again, you're in the middle of the song. It makes no sense. You have to always use this stop button so it re-triggers
1,
from the
2, 3.
All right, so I hope this helped. What else to say? Actually, it's quite easy here. You can do the same thing then, of course. Like you used to click, you can route it then on your interface as you expect to your different outputs. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever you have, whatever you got. And I hope this helps, because for me it was quite a challenge to find out all this stuff, but now it's working. And I'm very happy because with this feature right here, if someone decides to change the set list, I can just switch the songs, super easy, no struggle. I just switch it. If I would switch the songs here, as you can see, this is actually not taking the timeline here, so I will be totally working around a million things, and it's quite hard to do. So it makes no sense to do it like this. It makes way more sense to do it like this. So, what else I wanted to say? I think there was one more thing I wanted to say. No. I think we good. Yeah, true. What I wanted to say, since now you can change the tempo within the things, if you finally still decide you want to change the tempo, this is why we actually did the flex mapping here, because now you can just increase the tempo to the new value you want. And just bounce the new project out with the new tempo and drag it back in. So that actually helps quite a lot. But usually the tempo is not the issue. It's more maybe your singer is tired or something happened to his voice and he can't do the perfect pitch of the tune and he want to play it lower. You're very lucky because this is still happening. This is still possible to do. You can just transpose the whole thing regardless of the tempo, which is funny because I thought flex and transpose, it works at the same, it works together, but luckily or funnily it doesn't.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So yeah, you can easily just transpose your song too. Yeah, now there is no audio.
1, 2, 3, 4.
But you see, it's totally possible to do that, which is great. So you basically not lost if there is like you play a big project and you have to transpose the key. I know it's not Ableton, so don't comment, hey, well, it's so much cooler in Ableton. It was just to give you guys an example on how you could do that in Logic. Thank you very much and cheers.